part and parcel of the Lookuptv family. This is now Lookup Business. Let's just look into exactly what will take center stage at this particular hour. Because if you look at what is going on with the Hustler Fund project, you will look at it and say it is a good thing, but then there is the negative to that. Number one, you look at it from this perspective. Because if you look at the percentage of whatever it is that you borrow that is going into your savings kitty, it means that entirely now, for those people who have not been able to save, they're going to be able to save. And in just a couple years from now, they will be asking for their benefits. So now, with the country already looking at an increased wage bill when it comes to the pension payments, it is going to get worse. If indeed then the pension schemes, that is the bigger NSSF, is not going to pull itself out of the red and start making proper returns out of the investments that we normally say. So if indeed that the government then is going to use the entire bill of the hustler's kitty, that is the savings kitty that goes to NSSF, purely to go into development, then the government is going to start struggling sooner rather than later, when all the so-called hustlers then will be demanding their saving benefits. So if you look at it from this perspective, the state is going to require at least 1.7 billion shillings annually for the matched pension savings, an additional burden, all right, because we do know they're already struggling with 171.8 billion that they require in the year to July for retired civil servants. So even if you're not working right now, even if you're not in the formal workforce, essentially, you then be essentially elevated for you to start benefiting from NSSF due to the Hustler Fund contributions. You got to look at it from that perspective. And one of the reasons is why Kenya has been struggling with the wage bill, and that has come from the SRC, is that with increased quality of life, people are not essentially then dying. And if they're not dying, then they're still benefiting from NSSF. They're still getting their pension. So if we look at what the Ministry of Cooperatives and MSME said last week after the president launched the fund, a total of 3.75 billion shillings had already been dispersed to borrowers on the fund. That is as of last week. And it had already attracted 6.57 million transactions. So if 6 million people have already benefited from it, this 6 million, if they're not under the NSSF wire of contributions, they've already been onboarded onto the NSSF contributions. So you got to look at it from that perspective. So yes, good news that indeed the savings culture then is going to improve, fine, but then the government also has got to think about that. That is a more expanded wage bill scenario just because of the Hustler Fund adoption. Are they going to be able to carry it, going by the fact that currently, again, they're struggling with the 171.8 billion that they required to July to pay all the pensioners in the country? What about the 6.57 million who've already been onboarded onto it? This one. Got to think about it from that perspective. At Lookuptv, across all your social media platforms, I am at Kiage Simba. Let's take a look at exactly what is taking center stage in terms of the biggest business headlines at this hour. Welcome back. Official data now indicates that an estimated 680,000 Kenyan homes were illegally connected to the national power grid as of back of 2019, a factor that cost the power provider billions. The report by the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics reveals a variance of 678,684 between the number of people who said they were connected during the 2019 census and the official figures given by the power distributor, that's Kenya Power, on domestic connections. the same year. The data shows that 6,069,680 households, or 50.4%, were connected to the national grid, which was higher than the 5,390,396 that the state-owned firm gave at the same time last year. Now, according to the Kenya Power, illegal connections are to blame for the high cost of power in the country, which Kenya Power recovers by passing the cost to its consumers. Now, the utility firm loses about 20% in revenues from fraud and illegal connections. In the year ended June 2021, consumers paid 20.1 billion shillings to the utility firm for electricity theft and leakages from aging transmission network. Matatu operators will resume operations in Nakuru CBD next week after a 2-year hiatus since March 2020 in a bid to avoid congestion within the central business district. Speaking today during a Thanksgiving service at Mashambani stage led by Nakuru Matatu Owners Association, the operators lauded Governor Susan Kihika for the move, adding that they would follow a strict code of conduct upon their return.
Na tunarudisha shukrani tena na endelee hivyo hivyo na tutaendelea kumuunga mkono. Tukirudi hapa town, ningeomba watu ya matatu, hatutaki, na nirudie, hatutaki matatu zenye hazina discipline, na kuhakikishia this time around sisi zote tutafuata mashati yenye tutaweka kama wenye matatu na kama umbrella body.
Watu wengi sana wa maduka waliumia, tuliweza kupoteza hata wengine waliweza kupoteza maisha yao kwa sababu mambo yalibadilika, maisha yakabadilika, na wakati maombi yetu tumeona Mwenyezi Mungu ameyajibu, tukaona ni heri, ni vizuri tumshukuru kwa sababu hayo maombi ameweza kuyatimiza. Kwa hivyo yeye ametuambia anataka order, yeye kuna yale tumesikizana, na sisi tunasema hatutamlet down kwa sababu tumejua mambo ambayo tumepitia ni hali ngumu. Watu wetu wamepitia hali ngumu.
Kwa maana wakati tulitolewa town, tumepata mashida mingi, wengi wamechotwa magari, wengine wamegonjeka. Lakini sasa naona hata Mungu ametukumbuka katika huu mwaka. At least Mungu ametukumbuka, tutarudi kwa kazi zetu na turudi kwa nafasi zenye tulikuwa tunafanyia kazi.
Now, food security, consumer rights and biodiversity groups have called on the government to completely do away with plans to genetically modified food into the country. While demonstrating in Nakuru town, the activists have decried the failure by the Kenya Kwanza government to prioritize public participation in the GMO debate.
Tunaomba serikali ikaweza kufikiria pamoja na wakulima. Hii ni kwa sababu hii maneno ya GMO ikiangaliwa vizuri iko pro business not pro farmers, na kwa hivyo ndio maana tunaomba serikali ikumbuke kuwa 78% ya vyakula ambavyo huwa vinazalishwa nchini vinazalishwa na small scale producers ambao ni mabalozi wetu. Kwa hivyo ukiangalia wale 22 ambao ni big businesses ni wachache mno, na hao 22% they cannot feed the country. Na wakati ambapo tutakapofikiria maneno ya kupanda GMO, tutakuwa na issue ambayo ni ile ya kucontaminate indigenous seeds ambazo huwa zinaendana na vyakula vyetu vya kienyeji na pia utamaduni wetu. Na kwa hivyo tukiangalia hayo, tunaona kuwa GMO zikizidi kukuja ama zikiendelea kuja, inamaanisha kuwa tutakuwa tukiwapa kipaumbele wale watu ambao wanajihusisha na businesses, biashara, ilhali tunasahau wale wakulima ambao wanaotupa chakula sisi.
Hatutaki GMO kwa sababu tunajua madhara yake kwa afya ni makubwa kushinda manufaa. Hasa kwa mazingira yetu tunajua GMO itakuja kudhuru hata ile mbegu yetu ya kiasili ambayo tulikuwa tunakuza, na kwa hivyo tunasema kwa sauti moja hatutaki GMO. Hata katiba yenyewe inasema kila mwananchi ana haki ya kujua kile anakula na ana haki ya kuchagua kile anakula. Kwa sababu sisi tunajua madhara ya GMO. Kama kuna siri ya kibiashara ama kimanufaa kwa kisiasa, tunasema consumer ambaye ni mwananchi wa kawaida kwanza ajulishwe through public participation.
To be healthy, you need to get chemicals out of your life. All types of chemicals. Food, skincare products, cleaning products.
In a bid to jumpstart the tourism sector in Embu County that was adversely affected by the COVID-19 pandemic and the ongoing drought, tourism stakeholders held the inaugural two-day Embu Festival, looking to nurture and promote local talent. The county government, through the Ministry of Tourism, has promised to build on the success of the festival to 3 annual events per year so as to cover the different sectors and culture in the county.
Hii festival iko na umuhimu sana kibiashara kwa sababu inaweza kufungua Embu County kama destination ya investment. Inaweza kufungua Embu County kama destination ya utalii, na nafikiri hata wageni wale wametembea siku ya leo mmeona ni wengi, na hakika wameleta some resources to the county. Our hoteliers are happy. The bed capacity has improved for yesterday and today. Tuko na nia ya kuwa tunapanga events kama 3 kila mwaka ya kushowcase our county. Today was a lot about sports, but we promise hiyo ingine tutakuwa na a lot of culture and cuisine. There also talent imekuwa exposed hapa. Waimbaji wetu wa Embu wageni wameonekana ambaye hata walikuwa hawajajulikana before, and I am sure after they trend hii wakati wataweza kupata biashara.
Mimi ndio mshindi wa leo wa kitengo cha watu wa kwanza ama beginners katika Embu Festival 4x4 Challenge. Na nasikia nimefurahi sana. Mimi na mwenzangu Steve tulianza kama mzaha leo asubuhi. Tulikuja tukaangalia ile course, tukajiuliza na mbona tusijaribu. Kama wengine wanajaribu na mbona tusijaribu. Gari yenye tulikuwa tukaendesha leo ni aina ya Toyota Prado 90 series. Gari ambayo ni ya kawaida, ile wenye kwa kimombo inaitwa daily driven car. Sisi ndio team pekee katika zile team zote zilikuwa zinashindana leo hadi wale experts yenye imemaliza course 6 zote.
Leo tuko hapa kusupport Embu Festivals ambayo organizers are young people who came on board to seek our support, and as a government we came on board to support them because they are people from Embu and we are here to support Embu, Embu talent. As a Department of Youth and Talent and Sports, tuko hapa kusaidia vijana wetu ambao wako na talanta tofauti tofauti. They've been given a platform to showcase their talents, and we thank the organizers for that. We also thank the organizers for recognizing the different gender, that is male and female. Tumekuwa na participants ambao ni wanawake in this event 4x4 challenge, which is a very rare event to see. So now one of the ladies in the event amekuwa number 2, and we've also seen them giving a chance to our young men and women wenye wamekuwa wakiperform, especially the artists. Pia tumekuwa na DJs, tumekuwa na MCs.
Amesema kila mtu ni mshindi. Mnakubaliana na waziri? Tupigeni waziri. Introduce to you the winner from this team. The position 3 was taken by Mount Kenya of Loaders. Wapigeni makofi.
Kilifi will soon be host to a multi-billionaire ultra-modern city in Magarini sub-county. This is after the county polled more than 3,000 Kenyans living in the diaspora to invest in the development dubbed Proximity City Point of Return. The city will carry modern suburban apartments, modern business and office complexes, industrial parks, massive agricultural projects, state-of-the-art university and a sporting complex.
At very low yourselves and to do that.
Those of us who are in the diaspora, when we come in, there's nothing to show for our hard work, for our remittances. And we decided we would like to concert all our efforts in one place and do something meaningful. The vision of Proximity Point, a city of return, was put together so that we could develop the resources based on our skills to have an industrial park, an agribusiness campus, a residential facility, holiday making facility. The idea has grown. We have now over 3,000 people who are interested in participating in the process of making this happen.
We've got leadership from the Kilifi County. We've got the Minister for Agriculture. We've got the Minister for Tourism who are here and they're very, very supportive. We've got the Director for Lands. So for those of us who have bought land here, we have assurance that we will get the title deeds. So we are excited to come from the diaspora to invest the money that we have earned to prosper the community here.
Because of the magnitude and the size of the city, I am a healthcare professional, so I am looking not just to invest in the agribusiness, I'm also looking into becoming part of the healthcare system of the city to offer the best of the best healthcare system that we can offer as healthcare professionals. So I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to that. We probably give some of the best patient care.
We will have industrial park where a lot of local people and diaspora engineers and innovators will come and carry out their innovations in the industrial park. We will also have hospital. We will have an airstrip. We are also going to have housing, a lot of housing, so that when diaspora people move back here, they will be able to establish this city that in return will give them a home. There is also the agricultural part of it, which is Ushindi agribusiness. In this agribusiness area, we are growing pineapples. We'll soon be growing cassava.
Care services to investors at the county level while partnering with other government agencies.
Embu County Governor Cecily Mbarire has issued a stern warning to anyone engaging in the illicit brew business in the county, saying that her administration will not allow non-licensed liquor businesses in the county, while urging the enforcement teams to be vigilant. Mbarire said this during the county's Jamhuri Day celebrations.
Kuna vita tuko nayo na ni vita kubwa. Mimi nataka tushikane county commissioner na timu yako yote tumalize pombe halali Embu County. Haramu Embu County. Nataka tumalize hiyo pombe. Na tunaelewa ni kina nani wanatengeneza hiyo pombe. Tunawajua kwa majina. Tunajua amenunua mashine huko Nairobi, wanachukua chupa ya pombe ambayo ni halali, wanaweka hiyo pombe haramu. Hatutakubali watoto wetu wamalizwe na pombe haramu.
Tumekuwa tukiongea kuhusu mambo ya what you people, ile kitu pombe mnauza katika kaunti yetu. Na tumesema lazima ukinunua kutoka kwa stockist ama supplier ama distributor, lazima uweke record zako. Mambo ya kuwa tunakuja tunaitisha record, unasema ujui nani alikuuzia hii baya. Hatutakubali. And we will get the support together with the county government and the enforcement team na licensing committee ya county tuhakikishe those who are floating it wamenyimwa barua. Kuanzia kuuzia watoto wa shule ama watoto underage, hatutakubali. There is also another issue. Kuna mambo ingine ambayo imekuwa ikitusumbua. Tumefanya investment lakini tumesahau we have a generation to live. Ati wewe umefungua bar, kazi yako ni kulala ukipiga music 24 hours. We must also address it.
Now remember, yesterday the markets were on a holiday because we were celebrating Jamhuri Day. So now it's time then for us to go back to Monday, see how they closed, isn't it? Then come back and talk about them today. That's exactly how they opened today in the morning. But let me just give you a current snapshot of where we are, because I can check the live data. Safaricom is yet to even get to 500,000. They're just around the 300,000 mark. It's 2 hours and 32 minutes of trading. I can see not so much really in terms of the movement in the current market. But for now, let's then look at exactly where we are in terms of how they opened this morning before we give you snapshots of exactly how they are doing right now. For now, let's start with what were the biggest gainers then. That is over close of trading Monday, and you can see that indeed we do have Sanlam. They are at 8 shillings and 90 cents. That's a positive 8.1% in terms of percentage. From there, there's nothing really much to talk about, but then I will tell you about that particular stock, the last stock that you're seeing there. We're calling WTK, that's the Williamson T KPLC. Williamson T Kenya PLC. Again, when you're looking at agriculture stocks, I will be telling you exactly how the news around Kakuzi now, you will expect that Williamson T then would also come into that 160. That's a positive of 3.73% in that, which essentially is one of those proper stocks. Umeme has been around us this year, especially when we're looking at the stock, and it looks as if they're closing the year on a high right now. All right, let's look at what is in the biggest losers as of market opening today in the morning. And remember, this data goes all the way back to how they closed Monday, because yesterday, indeed, we were on that particular break. For me, Liberty will be a talking point in this one. Then if you look at Home Africa Limited as well, it will make a conversation point because it's just at 32 cents. Again, dropping 5.88%. Bank of Kigali is back at it again, 30 flat. That particular, we do apologize for that. It looks that's on a negative 30% decrease, but then I will tell you, them being at a 30 flat, which is exactly what you'd expect them to be. But if you look at the local banking quarters in the country, then you will see where the disparity is. Because at 30 flat, then you will be talking about you being among the lowest stocks in the banking quarters on the NSE. Let's look at what the money was there in terms of volume Monday. See whether Safaricom is back up and